Bonjour. Lesson number 4. Leçon numéro 4. I think it's important for me to explain to you the difference of culture. European French culture, actually, versus English culture. You are very open in the US. We are not as open as you are when you introduce someone to someone else. The word we use for sir or young man is monsieur. For lady or for a woman is madame. For a young girl or a teenager is mademoiselle. And you would address them as monsieur so-and-so, madame so-and-so, mademoiselle so-and-so. So if you wanted to say to a gentleman, sir, do you want to speak French with me? You would say, monsieur, voulez-vous parler français avec moi? Madame, lady, madame, do you want to have dinner with me? Madame, voulez-vous dîner avec moi? Miss, do you want to dance with me? Mademoiselle, voulez-vous danser avec moi? The French are overly polite, and they say thank you and if you please constantly. So anytime you can add thank you, which is merci, or if you please, s'il vous plaît, do it. They will love it. In France, by the way, you go shopping every day for fresh food. I mean, you go to the market every single day. Very rarely do you buy for a whole week. And every morning you will see the French people coming out of the bakery with their, what they call baguette, which is a loaf of bread, under their arm. Every morning, fresh. Now, culturally there is a big difference. Let me explain. In England, in the old days, you had two forms of saying you to someone. One form for your family and your relative, and that word used to be thou, thine, as you hear it in Shakespeare's, or in the Amish culture right now. And then you have the word you. Now, when I first arrived in the United States, I was shocked when I heard a wife say to her husband, you, instead of thou, as we say in French. It was to me like hearing a wife who is supposedly in love with her husband calling him sir, you, sir, instead of the familiar form thou. Well, the form thou in French is tu. Instead of vous, we say tu. And it is used among family members, relatives, between children, between close friends, so that when you meet a group of people and someone says tu, you know that they are very well acquainted. And the people who use vous are less close and not as well acquainted. After a while, if the people like you, they will ask you if they can say tu to you. It is a compliment, it is a sign of friendship. If you, however, feel friendly towards someone and immediately use the familiar form tu instead of you might be considered rude or too forward. Something else you should be aware of. If someone gives you a compliment, in the United States you must say thank you. If, however, in France, someone gives you a compliment, you avoid like the plague saying thank you, because you would be considered conceited. So in France you say, oh really? Oh, that dress is not new. Or, oh, it's the first time I cooked that meal. You avoid saying thank you. Now, when I first arrived in the United States and someone gave me a compliment, I didn't say thank you. And I was told that it was rude not to acknowledge the compliment. So I learned that I didn't want to appear impolite. And so you can see how easily you can be misunderstood. If someone gives you a compliment in French, say, oh, really? Or whatever. Do not say thank you. Since I hope, actually, that you are now much more confident about the possibility of eventually speaking French fluently, I will give you terms relating to a trip to France, which you may have already taken or which you will take shortly. Some words will be the same, some, however, will be different. Just keep remembering to yourself that learning new words and not wondering why is the best for you. Just learn the word or the expression and run with it. The word to travel, which we have already touched before, is to voyage, voyager. Do you travel? Voyagez-vous? Have you traveled? Avez-vous voyagé? Remember, address anybody that you meet by the term monsieur, madame, mademoiselle, unless they say to you, please call me by my first name. To indicate is indiquer. To give is donner, like a donation, donner. To buy is acheter, acheter. To show, show me, is montrer, montrer. So, indicate to me would be indiquez-moi. Give me would be donnez-moi. Do you buy? Achetez-vous. Show me. Montrez-moi. Tell me. Dites-moi. Dites-moi. Do you sell? Vendez-vous. To sell actually comes from the word vendor. Vendez. Vendez-vous. Do you sell? Now, you're now at the flea market in Paris or in a smaller town, and you want to say, How much do you sell the table? Combien vendez-vous la table? You could also say, how much for the table? Combien pour la table? To rent is louer. Louer. I would like to rent a room. Je voudrais louer une chambre. It's like the word chamber in English. Je voudrais louer une chambre. To search or to look for is chercher. And if you have an avid reader of mystery, you know that they always talk about chercher la femme, which is look for the woman. Now, what are you looking for? What are you searching for would be que cherchez-vous? Que cherchez-vous? Now, whom are you looking for? Qui cherchez-vous? Qui cherchez-vous? To cost is coûter. Coûter. How much cost the table is combien coûte la table. Combien coûte la table? How much does the lamp cost? Combien coûte la lampe? Same word, the lamp, la lampe. To find is trouver. It also means by extension, how do you find or how do you like? For example, if you wanted to say, how do you find the opera? You would say, comment trouvez-vous l'opéra? Comment trouvez-vous l'opéra? But if we wanted to ask somebody, how did you like the film? You would say, comment trouvez-vous le film? Comment trouvez-vous le film? Remember, the word to rent is louer. So if you wanted to say, rent me a room, you would say, louez-moi une chambre. And remember the ever polite, if you please, s'il vous plaît. Louez-moi une chambre, s'il vous plaît. I would like to rent a car. Je voudrais louer une automobile. Now, an expression which you will hear constantly in France, which is very redundant, but it's used all the time, is, what is it? The French, instead of saying, what is it, say, what is it that it is? And the expression is, qu'est-ce que c'est? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Say it. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Repeat it a couple of times. I told you that the word for more is plus or plus. The word for less is moins. More or less would be plus ou moins. Plus ou moins. You want less? Vous voulez moins? You want more? Vous voulez plus? The word for, now this is going to be tricky. The word for or, like in you or me, more or less, sounds exactly like the word where. Remember? Same sound as the owl does. It's ou. And you will recognize it, you will recognize the difference within the context of the line. If the line starts with, if the question starts with ou, you know it means where. If it's in the middle of a sentence, you're going to have to evaluate for yourself if it means where or. So, if you wanted to say more or less, it would be plus ou moins. You or me, vous ou moi. The hotel or the opera. L'hôtel ou l'opéra. Remember that the word and, A-N-D, is a. Just like you would say a tree, a book, etc. It's a. So if you wanted to say the hotel and the opera, you would say l'hôtel et l'opéra. You and me, vous et moi. The table and the lamp, la table et la lampe. It is for you, c'est pour vous. It is for me, c'est pour moi. The word by you, by me, is par vous. By me, par moi. Now, let's learn the mode of transportation. First of all, transportation is la transportation or le transport. The circulation is la circulation. The boat is le bateau. Le bateau. The plane is l'avion. L'avion. The train is le train. Le train. The bus is l'autobus, or we shorten it too in French, we say le bus. L'autobus or le bus. The subway is le métro. Le métro. The cab or a taxi is le taxi. The car or the automobile is l'automobile. The truck is le camion. Le camion. A van is la camionnette. And sometimes we use la caravane also. A motorbike is la moto. It could also be called la motocyclette, but we shorten it to la moto. A bicycle is la bicyclette. The subway station is la station de métro. The railroad station is la gare. La gare. The frontier is la frontière. La frontière. The consulate is le consulat. Le consulat. The passport is le passeport. Le passeport. The hospital is l'hôpital. L'hôpital. The pharmacy is la pharmacie. The movie house is le cinéma. The post office is la poste. The airport is l'aéroport. L'aéroport. The suitcase is la valise. The phone booth is la cabine téléphonique. The bathroom can be referred to as le lavabo or les toilettes. So if you wanted to say to someone, show me where the bathroom is, you would say, montrez-moi les toilettes, or montrez-moi le lavabo. Money is l'argent. Now, we do use the word monnaie, but la monnaie means the little change, the coins that you have in your pocket. When you refer to bills or any kind of money, it's l'argent. I would like some money, please. You would say, je voudrais de l'argent. But if you wanted change, you would say, je voudrais de la monnaie. And remember to say the s'il vous plaît. The reservation is la réservation. La réservation. The room or bedroom is la chambre. The key is la clé. La clé. Do you have the reservation? Is avez-vous la réservation? Do you have the key? Avez-vous la clé? The restaurant is le restaurant. Where is the restaurant? Où est le restaurant? The menu, same word, le menu. The steak, le beefsteak. Pork chop, la côtelette de porc. La côtelette de porc. Lamb chop, la côtelette de mouton. La côtelette de mouton. The roast, le rôti. Now, some vegetables. Vegetable is légumes. The vegetables are les légumes. A potato is la pomme de terre, which literally means the apple of the earth. La pomme de terre. The carrot, la carotte. Peas, les petits pois. Les petits pois literally means the small peas. Les petits pois. Mashed potato, we call it la purée. La purée. French fried, we call them les pommes de terre frites, or, when we shorten it, we call them les frites. On a menu, very often you will see steak and fried. It will be steak frites. The salad is la salade. The cheese, le fromage. By the way, how are you doing with your R? Or do you ever think about it? The dessert is le dessert. The pastry is la pâtisserie. La pâtisserie. The butter, le beurre. The bread, le pain. Le pain. The salt, le sel. The pepper, le poivre. Le poivre. The oil, l'huile. The vinegar, le vinaigre. The beer, la bière. The water, l'eau. The wine, le vin. If you remember, you learned it when you learned how to say the word 20, which sounds exactly the same. So, I would like a beer. Je voudrais une bière. I would like a glass of water. Je voudrais un verre d'eau. Un verre is a glass. Je voudrais un verre d'eau. I would like a glass of wine. Je voudrais un verre de vin. Je voudrais un verre de vin. A bottle is une bouteille. So I would like a bottle of wine would be je voudrais une bouteille de vin. coffee is le café. I would like a cup of coffee. Je voudrais une tasse de café. Or I would like a half a cup. Je voudrais une demi-tasse. The tea is le thé. I would like a cup of tea. Je voudrais une tasse de thé. And remember all the time, say s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, if you please. A liqueur is une liqueur. I would like a liqueur. Je voudrais une liqueur. The bill is l'addition. Or sometimes we say le chèque, the check, but l'addition. So please give me the bill would be donnez-moi l'addition, s'il vous plaît. Donnez-moi l'addition, s'il vous plaît. The tip is le pourboire. And in France, it's really written on your bill. And I think it's usually 15%. So if you give on top, that's a real tipping. By the way, the word pourboire literally means pour, which you already know, it means for. Boire means drink. So it is the money that they used to give to the people who helped them in a tavern a long time ago, and they would throw them a coin and said, for you to drink, pour boire. That's the origin of it. Now, the different time of the day. The morning is le matin. The noon is le midi. The afternoon is l'après-midi, which means literally after noon, like in English. The evening is le soir. The night is la nuit. But remember that no matter what time of the day you meet someone, even in the evening, you will always say bonjour. And you will only say good night when you leave. You will say bonne nuit. Good night. Bonne nuit. Now, in the last tape, I promised to teach you how to tell the time from the half hour on. You learn how to say 1, 1:10, 1:15, 3:15, 3:20, 5:30. You can say all that. Now, you will have to learn how to tell the time from 6:30 on, which is 25 to 7, 20 to 8, quarter to 9, 10 to 10, 5 to 11, noon and midnight. Well, noon will be midi, which is really literally midday, and midnight is minuit, literally midnight. So, like in English, you have two ways of saying it. You can either say it's 6:35 or 25 to 7, 7:40 or 20 minutes to 8. So this is the way it would go. 6:35 would be 6h35. But since you have not learned the word for 40 or 50 or 60, I will teach you the second way right now, which will be 25 to 7. Il est 7 heures moins. Remember the word that you learn? Minus, moins, 25. 25 to 7. Il est 7 heures moins 25. 7:40 or 20 to 8 would be il est 8 heures moins 20. Come on, you say it, don't be lazy. Il est 8 heures moins 20. A quarter to 9 will be il est 9 heures moins 15, or more commonly a quarter to il est 9 heures moins le quart. Le quart, quart meaning a quarter. 10 to 10 would be il est 10 heures moins 10. 5 to 11 would be il est 11 heures moins 5. Now, if it were noon, you would say il est midi. And in French, we wouldn't say it's 12 hours. We would say midi. So 5 after noon would be midi 5. Quarter after noon would be midi et quart. Noon 30 or 12:30 would be midi et demi. A quarter to noon would be midi moins le quart. The same goes for midnight. It is midnight, il est minuit. And you would say 5 after midnight, il est minuit 5. 10 after midnight, il est minuit 10. Quarter after midnight, il est minuit et quart. 20 after midnight, il est minuit 20. 25 after midnight, il est minuit 25. Midnight 30, or 12:30 p.m., would be il est minuit 30, or il est minuit et demi. 25 to midnight, il est minuit, remember the word minus, moins 25. 20 to midnight, il est minuit moins 20. Quarter to midnight, il est minuit moins le quart. 10 to midnight, il est minuit moins 10. 5 to midnight, il est minuit moins 5. Let me give you the words, the words for the numbers from 30 on. 40 is 40. 50 is 50. 60 is 60. Say it. 60. 70 is, we say actually 60-10. 70. 70. 80 is 80. which actually means 4 times 20. 80. 90 is 90, meaning 4 times 20 plus 10. Don't ask me. They changed it during the French Revolution. 90, 90. 100 is 100, written like the word cent, you know, the little coin that you have in the United States. 100. 1,000 is 1000. And a million is million. Million. So what you might do as homework is write out the numbers, maybe from 1 to 100, since you know the key word. Okay? You have a lot of vocabulary to deal with. Try to make sentences with where, when, who, what, how much, how many, and how. Pourquoi, qui, où, comment, que, combien, and when, which is quand. In the next tape, if you still feel good about French, I will teach you the days, the month, the season, and how they relate to the culture. And we'll learn some more vocabulary. If you have really listened and practiced what we have on those 4 tapes, you will be so far ahead of the game. You will be so confident that it will be a pleasure thinking of how fast you learn. How would you say, where's the opera? Où est l'opéra? Where's the movie house? Où est le cinéma? Where's the bathroom? Où est le lavabo? Where's the consulate? Où est le consulat? How much? Combien? And I certainly can ask you, after those 4 tapes, how you feel. Comment allez-vous? Bien? Mal? Ou comme ci, comme ça? I hope that you can answer for yourself. Bien. You feel very good physically, and you feel very good mentally and intellectually. Au revoir. À bientôt. And I'll talk to you in the next tape.